Hey everyone, it's Andy Hodges coming to you live for Sebastian Daily in Sebastian, Florida, where it's 91 degrees, a little bit of winds, about 15 to 20 miles per hour. It's hot, very hot right now. So the water looks beautiful, flat, and there's a few boats out there today. We do have some rain coming, unfortunately. Scattered rain this afternoon and tonight. Rain is expected to continue tomorrow and Saturday. Now they say scattered rain, so off and on. It's not going to be storming and raining all through every day, every hour, just off and on. Mostly at night though. Tonight it's going to get cooler. It's going to be down 67 degrees for the overnight. So obviously there's a front coming in. It's going to cool things down a little bit. But you know, this is Sebastian weather. Anything can change. We've been wrong ourselves at times. The weather in Sebastian does what it wants to do. That's what we've come up to. It's either partly cloudy or partly sunny, right? Mayor Ed Dodd is going to join us again tomorrow for a newscast, but I want to bring up something that's going on right now at with the Sebastian City Council. There's stuff going on that I just found out about this yesterday. We have an article coming out today to explain more about it. But the next meeting for the City Council is Wednesday, April 22nd. It's a very important meeting, and I'll tell you why. There is a couple of City Council members who are trying to remove the mayor from his post. And I'll get into that more in an article that we're getting ready to publish this afternoon. The reason I'm bringing this up is that this is political. Right now, we are at a state of emergency. We have a pandemic going on, and a couple of the city council members are doing this. And there's other things going on, and I'll bring that up also in the article later. But, you know, there's people without their jobs right now. There are businesses that are closed right now. And this is this is the kind of politics that are going on at our city council right now. It's just, you know, don't get me started. I'll get really mad. But, hey, the article will be coming out this afternoon to explain more about what's happening. But I just think they're using this as the timing, since they think that a lot of people can't go to the meetings. You can go to the meetings. You can speak up. If you can't, they're going to try to do a virtual meeting first. They're going to have a podium outside of City Hall next Wednesday where people can come up and give public input, just like in the regular meetings. If that doesn't work, they're going to allow one person at a time into the chambers to give public input. This is an important one because this is just ridiculous. I'm assuming that these council members think that a lot of people won't show up because of this pandemic. And I think they're going to be wrong. I think we have other business matters to attend. We got to focus on this pandemic. There's no time for politics in this town right now. We have people out of work, like I said, and businesses that are shut down because of this pandemic. We need to be focused on that in a state of emergency right now, not politics or removing the mayor. So articles coming out this afternoon. Something else that happened. Governor Ron DeSantis announced that the number of new coronavirus cases in Florida may have flattened. Okay, we were on our way up with a lot of new cases every day, and now we flattened. So when you look at the data, it has flattened according to the data that the state health department is issuing us and giving us. Now, does that mean that there's not a lot more testing going on? Does that mean that there's less testing? I mean, we don't know. We can only give you the facts of the numbers that they are releasing to us. And with that statement, the governor said, data suggests that we are flattening the curve. He said this yesterday. He also announced that he is getting a task force together to look at reopening the state by May 1st. All right, now there's other conflicting reports going on right now from health officials saying that The peak wasn't expected to happen until the 27th of this month, that we're nowhere near the peak yet. The peak so far was April 7th and 8th, which is almost 2 weeks ago. And that's the data they gave us. That's when we had 1,300 and more new cases a day. Now we've flattened down a little bit. I think there was 800 or 900 cases yesterday, but we're going to get all into that in these numbers. There's other models showing that the peak in Florida may not happen until May, sometime in mid-May. Again, these are models. These are they're using the data that they have. They're inputting the data into these models, and they're trying to predict what this virus is going to do, which really is unpredictable. And this virus, even if we reopen on May 1st, for instance, I'm not saying that it will, but let's suppose that the state does reopen and everyone gets their jobs back and businesses reopen, we still are going to have to take precautions for a while, because this virus isn't, it's still going to be around. So keep that in mind. But I tell you what, everything that everyone is doing right now with washing their hands, social distancing, wearing the masks, gloves, you name it, it's working. So it's very important that we continue to practice this, because it is working. We can't let our guard down on this. So, your actions are helping us, and we really appreciate everyone that's been taking this seriously, wearing the masks in stores and washing their hands. We're going to get out of this sooner than I think a lot of people thought. And I hope that my assumption is right. I've always been optimistic about this. And all we can do is report the facts to you without providing any kind of alternate facts or anything like that. Let me go over the numbers, because these are facts. Sebastian still has 7 cases, Fellsmere 1, Malabar 1, Grant 1, Barefoot Bay 1, Miko 0, Vero Beach 52. So not any changes in that for at least a couple of days now. You could probably assume that maybe Sebastian is flattened so far, based on these numbers. Indian River County, we're still at 77 cases, 1 death. There's been over 1,000 people tested negative, and 20 people are in the hospital. Brevard County, they've climbed up a little bit, but remember, that's a population of 590,000 people. So they are up to 164 people with coronavirus, 6 deaths, and 3,000 people have tested negative. There are 38 people in the hospital. In Florida, there's 22,000 cases. 566 of those people are non-Florida residents. There have been 591 deaths. There have been about 188,000 people who have tested negative in Florida. There are almost 3,100 people in the hospital. Now, Governor DeSantis said in his statement yesterday that there's plenty of beds in hospitals in the state. So I think he said there's 40% left. I think that's what he said. But we have an article on that. You can see the latest update. It's in there about exactly what he said. So, as far as testing, a lot of people have said, maybe there is less testing, and we've already known that they're not testing 100% of the people. There are people that have it. They're at home and they're not leaving the home. So, it's just, we're going to get through this. And I'm optimistic. I think it's going to be soon. And I know everyone is in their, what's that? What's that? Oh, it's raining. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm sure that everyone's going to be out of this soon. If you're worried about your job, I know there's a lot of frustrations going on right now. The bills are coming up. again. Uh, and a lot of people are getting frustrated. A lot of people are getting depressed. Uh, and we feel your pain. We know what you're going through, but we're going to get out of this. This isn't going to happen all year long. We're going to get out of this. Keep everything going that you're doing. The masks, and social distancing and all of that. So we can only take one day at a time. And if you feel really depressed, reach out to someone, reach out to a neighbor, reach out to a friend or a relative. If they're not around, there's helplines to help. You don't have to do that alone. We are all in this together as a community, and we're going to get through it together as a community. So, hey, have a great day. It's just, there's a lot of more things I could say, but I'm going to try to keep this video short. So I'm Andy Hodges, coming to you live in Sebastian for Sebastian Daily.